On this International Women's Day, I'm filled with immense gratitude and pride as I celebrate not only my birthday but also the incredible achievement and resilience of women around the world. I'm also honored to share my experience and insights on the India Career Center podcast, where we discuss empowering career journeys and the role of arts in shaping our lives. As a Kathak dancer and a teacher, I have witnessed the transformative power of art in empowering women and fostering a sense of community and strength. This year's theme, Accelerate Action, resonates deeply with me. It reminds us that while we have made significant strides towards gender equality, there is still much work to do. Let us continue to support and uplift each other, breaking barriers and challenging stereotypes. To all the women out there, remember that your voice matters, your dreams are valid, and your potential is limitless. Together, we can create a world where every woman can thrive and shine. Happy Women's Day.
Hi, I'm Mira. Being a corporate professional turned businesswoman, here's my message for International Women's Day. A few years ago, a friend of mine got an incredible opportunity to interview for a role that was bigger, higher pay, but she hesitated. When I asked why, she said, I don't know if I'm ready yet. Maybe I should wait another couple of years. My kids are young. I should be more available for them. I remember asking her, if it were a man in her place, would he hesitate? She laughed and admitted, probably not. The hesitation isn't personal, it's cultural. We teach women to be perfect before they're ready, while we teach men to be bold when they're unprepared. But what if we change that? What if we encourage girls to say yes to opportunities just like boys do? I see echoes of that same hesitation in workplaces, homes, and society at large. But here's the good news. Things are changing. I want to talk about two things that will define India's future. Gender equality, not as an abstract idea, but as a daily reality. Two, financial independence for the next generation. Teaching kids, especially young girls, how to make and manage money. Because when these two things happen, entire societies transform. Gender equality. We've all heard the debates, what needs to change, what's missing. But today I want to focus on what's working. In the year 2018, Iceland, they made history by banning the gender pay gap. They made it a criminal offense for employers to not take action on unequal pay. They've effectively made it like a health and safety violation. Companies must prove that they pay men and women equally. And guess what? It works. Iceland is now ranked the most gender equal country in the world. In Sweden and Norway, men and women share parental leave equally. It's normal to see fathers pushing strollers in parks while mothers are leading boardroom meetings. But let's bring this home. India has success stories too. Tata has structured mentorship programs for women, ensuring more leadership representation by women. Seva, Self-Employed Women's Association, it has empowered over 2 million women through microfinance and entrepreneurship. So what can we do? Gender equality isn't just about policies, it's about daily choices. At home, let's encourage boys to share household responsibilities just as we do with girls. A child who grows up seeing fairness at home will expect fairness in the world. 2. At work, let's advocate for inclusive policies. If you see a woman being spoken over in a meeting, amplify her voice. 3. As leaders, let's create spaces where women's contributions are valued, not as a token, but as a norm. Imagine an India where that's not the exception, but the rule. And now let's talk about something that's truly transforming lives. I'm talking about financial independence. Early in my entrepreneurial journey, I ran up a credit card debt of 2 lakhs. At that point, it was a big deal. It hit me hard when I turned to my parents to help pay it off. Of course, they are kind folks and will always be there for me. The lesson that was barking at me was you need to know how to manage your money. Growing up, money conversations were often reserved for the men in the house. Women managed household expenses, but investments and savings, that was their domain. But here's what research tells us. A Harvard study found that children who learn money management early are 3 times more likely to be financially stable adults. In Singapore and Finland, financial literacy is part of the school curriculum. Kids learn about savings, investments, and even taxes before they turn 15. So, how do we bring this mindset shift to our homes and schools? Start early. Give kids a small allowance and let them make choices. If they save, they see growth. If they spend, they understand consequences. Let's normalize money talks. When families discuss salaries, investments, and expenses openly, kids, especially girls, learn to be financially savvy. And let's encourage entrepreneurs. In many Indian business families, children are exposed to finance from a very young age. How do we make this possible for everyone? I remember a young girl I met at a workshop, Ananya. She was 12. And she told me she wanted to start a dog walking business in her apartment complex to save up for a camera that she's aspirational about. Her mother supported her, and today she understands the value of money, not just as something you receive, but something you create. That's what we want. An India where financial independence isn't a privilege, it's a basic life skill. So imagine this, an India where young boys and girls see equality in their homes and workplaces. An India where children, especially young girls, grow up knowing that money is power and they have every right to it. So I leave you with this. What's one action you can take today to make gender equality not just a discussion, but a reality? What's one conversation you can have with a child that helps them understand money, confidence, and independence? Because real change doesn't happen in a moment. It happens in the moments we create. Happy International Women's Day. Let's make this future together.
Hello, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. I'm delighted to share some of my thoughts today, especially as a teacher, someone who has the privilege of shaping young minds and guiding our future generations. Many years ago, I asked my students a question that still lingers in my mind. I asked them, if you were granted another life, how many of you would like to be born as boys? To my surprise, all the boys raised their hands, and so did the majority of girls. Then I tweaked the question and asked, how many of you would want to be born as a girl? Now, this time, only a few girls raised their hands, and none of the boys did. That moment struck me deeply. And on International Women's Day every year, this memory keeps resurfacing. I can't say why exactly, but it does. As educators, we are in a unique position to observe and challenge the subtle gender biases that exist in our society. These biases may not always be overt, but they persist quietly, influencing how our children perceive themselves and the world. From an educator's perspective, Women's Day is a time to reflect on the progress we have made and the work still left to do. I envision a world where no gender is seen as an underdog, where subjects like humanities, often chosen more by girls, are not perceived as having lesser value. I dream of a day when professions are not gender assigned, where roles like teaching and nursing aren't automatically associated with women, and fields like engineering and leadership aren't primarily viewed as male dominated. The good news is, I can see a change. If I were to ask that same question today, I believe more girls would proudly raise their hands, embracing the idea of being reborn as a girl again and again. And while we may not yet be there, I eagerly await the day when more boys will want to be reborn as girls, just as many girls desire to experience life as boys. In the end, it's about balance. The beauty of nature lies in the harmonious coexistence of both masculine prowess and feminine nurturing. Both forces are necessary and both should be celebrated, not just today, but every day. So, as we celebrate International Women's Day, let's continue to empower our young minds, our boys and our girls alike, to understand that no gender is superior or inferior. Only then we will be able to create truly equal and inclusive world for ourselves and for our future generations. Happy International Women's Day again.
Rumi's quote, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself," resonates deeply with me because I believe that real transformation happens from within. It begins with personal responsibility. It is easy to sit back and intellectualize what needs to change and who should be responsible for making it happen. But in my opinion, each of us has a role to play in creating a more gender equal society. Change doesn't always come through grand policies or sweeping reforms alone. It is also driven by the small everyday choices we make. Through our daily conversations, actions, and decisions, we have the power to create ripples that eventually lead to transformation. As individuals, we can take responsibility in simple but meaningful ways. We can be mindful of the language we use, ensuring that it does not reinforce gender stereotypes. The words we choose shape mindsets, and by making a conscious effort to speak inclusively, we contribute to a culture that values equality. We can also be critical consumers of media, choosing not to contribute to the TRP ratings of shows that glorify patriarchy or reinforce outdated gender roles. Instead, we can engage in discussions about films like The Great Indian Kitchen or Mrs., which is being streaming right now, and people are watching it and enjoying it. By supporting content that sparks important conversations, we push for change in how gender is represented in mainstream narratives. We all know that gender equality must reflect in our workplaces and our homes, that we need to amplify women's voices in professional settings, and at home, equality means shared responsibilities. But when this is not visible, what do we do? Silence implies acceptance, and change cannot happen if we simply look away. Each of us has the power to influence the world around us. The question is, will we choose to act? By embodying the change we wish to see and make conscious choices each day, we contribute to a more equitable society for all genders.
Gender equality is not just a moral imperative, it is the foundation of a progressive and inclusive society. To achieve societal equality between men and women, we must focus on several key steps. Ensure strict enforcement of laws that promote gender equality, such as equal pay for equal work, protection against sexual harassment, and equal inheritance rights. Increase female representation in politics and leadership positions
to create policies that genuinely reflect women's needs. Make gender sensitive education mandatory in schools to break stereotypes early. Educate both boys and girls about equality, consent, and respect, thus fostering a generation free from bias. Create more opportunities for women in the workplace and eliminate barriers like maternity benefits or workplace discrimination. Invest in skill building programs for women in rural and urban areas to make them financially independent. Challenge patriarchal norms by promoting shared responsibilities at home, especially regarding caregiving and household work. Use media and entertainment to showcase empowered females who are role models and dismantle traditional gender roles. Each of us has a role to play in achieving gender equality. Raise children in a gender neutral environment where boys and girls are treated equally. Speak up against discrimination or injustice whenever and wherever you encounter it. Be a mentor or ally to women in your personal and professional circles. A society where men and women have equal opportunities will lead us to a holistic growth, innovation, and happiness for everybody. Teaching young children the importance of financial independence is a gift that will empower them for life. Here's how we can inculcate these values at home during their early education. Introduce the concept of saving money early. Use piggy banks or saving accounts to teach children the habit of setting aside a portion of their money. Encourage children to manage pocket money and make small financial decisions like choosing between needs and wants. Schools must and should include age appropriate financial literacy programs in their curriculum, teaching students about budgeting, savings, and investment basics. Promote entrepreneurial thinking by encouraging projects or activities where students manage resources or raise funds. Assign tasks that earn children an allowance. Teach them the value of hard work and money. Talk openly about family finances where appropriate to demystify money management. Financial independence fosters confidence, responsibility, and decision making in individuals. It reduces dependency, paving the way for equal partnership in relationships and a balanced society. Where the next generation is financially savvy, they contribute to economic growth and a society where individuals have the resources and the knowledge to uplift themselves and others. As parents, educators, and role models, we must ensure that children understand money as a tool for empowerment rather than a measure for success. Together, let's build a society that values both gender equality and financial independence, creating a brighter future and more equitable future for all.
Hello everyone, this is Chandana. I'm currently working as a freelance consultant in education space. I have more than 15 years of experience in various roles, right from coding to product management to marketing and then being the CEO of my own firm. I'm very glad to be a part of this podcast episode conducted by ICC on the occasion of International Women's Day. Well, coming to the topic today, gender equality is probably one of the most discussed topics in the last few decades, especially since the time women have started venturing into all those fields which were supposed to be men dominated. There has been quite a significant progress in terms of opportunities and resources that women got, be in terms of education or job or even the public services. But are we really there? I mean, have we really been able to achieve the kind of progress that we are aspiring? I don't think so. I mean, if you look at the kind of statistics on how many women progress to the leadership roles, how many women are able to take their careers as seriously as they used to before becoming a mother, the numbers are still not very satisfactory, and there is a long way to go. So it is high time that we start focusing on gender equity and not just gender equality. Gender equality is being able to provide equal opportunities and resources to both the genders, but gender equity is about realizing that the genders have different circumstances, different roles to play, and probably would need different set of resources and opportunities to have the same outcome. Right? To put it simply, gender equality is about the start line, gender equity is about the finish line. Gender equality is about providing the same shoe to every person, but gender equity is about tailor making a shoe so that it's a right fit for that individual. Well, I do have a few tips to share on how we can bring in gender equity in the workplace. I think it all starts with having a very transparent hiring process, and then having a very transparent salary structure for all the genders. It is also about being able to go an extra mile and provide extra funds for the programs which are supporting women in technology, women in leadership roles. It's also about aspiring to have balance at every level in the corporation. And coming to the lower levels, it's about being able to provide a work-life balance policy which can help women in balancing their family life as well as their career goals. It's also about being able to provide them with flexible working hours so that they can manage the various roles that they've got to take care of, and also about being able to provide infrastructure for child care at the organization itself. So these are a few tips that corporates can follow to achieve the gender equity that we are talking about. And yes, it's high time. It's high time that we start focusing more on gender equity to bridge the gap that still exists in this society in a very realistic way. Great. Now let's switch to the second topic that we ought to focus on today, which is the financial independence among kids. I mean, this is a topic which is pretty close to my heart. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I always aspire that she becomes financially independent and takes care of herself. So why is financial independence basically important among kids? That's the first question, right? So it makes them independent to choose what they want in future. It gives them the freedom of choice. It gives them the strength. It gives them fearlessness. It probably builds the kind of confidence they ought to have once they grow up. And how exactly do we build financial independence among kids? Well, I do have few tips that I am trying to inculcate in my home. So first of all, when your kid is able to do the basic math, I think we should expose them to financial transactions, send them to shops, let them do the basic mathematics behind the financial transactions that happen there. Also, for every household core that they participate in, if we are able to attach a cost and pay them some wage for it, sort of, and make them build their own money bank, and then let them know how to manage that entire portfolio of money. I think that's one thing which will be of a great help to them. And once they grow up a bit more, I think they should be involved in the family financial planning. What are the sources of income we have? What are the sources of expenditure? Where are we investing? Where are the savings going? What are our assets? What are our liabilities? I think, being exposing them to all these would help them in understanding the basics of how financial planning is done. So these are a few tips from my end on how we can make them financially aware at a very early age. And with this, I think I'm going to close this session. Thank you so much, ICC, for the opportunity again.
Hello everyone, I'm Reena Das, CHRO of QLIS Hyderabad. A few weeks ago, I came across a social media post about a woman from a small village in the north of India. Married off at 18, she was told her job was to cook, clean, and keep quiet. While she did all of that, she taught herself to read using old newspapers and eventually started a small tailoring unit. Today, she's training other women in her village to do the same. All from the scratch, no external support, no big funding, yet determination, just determination. Such inspiring stories are everywhere in India, but unfortunately, they are not the norm yet. First, education has got to be the backbone. We are talking not just getting girls into the school, but making sure they stay there. Scholarships, free transport, even basic stuff like toilets in school can keep girls from dropping out. India boasts of a massive workforce, but women are still stuck in the shadows. Only 20% of us are in the formal employment. We need more vocational training in technology, healthcare, even sectors which have been so far male dominated. The mobility sector was still recently very male dominated. I am very proud to state QLIS Hyderabad has women employees increasing in numbers year after year. We need to talk about safety. You cannot empower anyone who has been afraid to be stepping outside. Better street lighting, more women in police forces, stricter laws that actually get enforced, small changes that add up. And finally, the age-old traditions our village rock stars defied, keep quiet rule. But not every woman can fight the battle alone. We need men, families, communities to cheer women on, not hold them back. It is about rewriting the script, less on what people will say, more on what can she achieve. India has got talent, the spirit, like tailoring unit entrepreneur, stitching her way to the freedom. We just need to be back up with real action. Education, jobs, safety, and cultural shift. That's the recipe. Let's accelerate action. The greatest inheritance parents can give to their children is not money, but the knowledge of how to manage it wisely. I grew up with the notion that lessons can wait until adulthood. But when I watched my son, I realized starting early could be a game changer. India's economy today is vibrant. Startups, digital payments, global opportunities, and many more that show strong signs of progress. But with that comes complexities. Teaching kids financial basics like savings, budgeting, and even understanding inflation prepares them to thrive in the fast paced world. Imagine a 10-year-old grasping why rupees 100 today won't buy him the same candy tomorrow. That's empowerment. Further, habits stick young. In a country where a large chunk of population still don't use formal banking, early financial literacy can help shift mindsets. Kids who learn to save small amount from their pocket money today might grow up valuing fixed deposit over impulsive spending in the future. Then there is a cultural angle. In India, we often tie money to family duties like supporting parents or siblings. Teaching kids about money management blends practicality with responsibility. They will know how to balance personal goals like buying a bike with the bigger dreams like funding education. Scams are everywhere. Online frauds doubled in India last year alone. Financially savvy kids who can spot red flags, protecting themselves and their families. It is not just about money, it's about security. Let's make financial acumen fun games, stories, real life examples taught to our kids. Start small. A piggy bank today can lead to a small investor tomorrow. India's future deserves it.
क्या आपने कभी सोचा है कि हमारे छोटे छोटे फैसले कैसे आने वाली पीढ़ी को एक अच्छा भविष्य दे सकते हैं या उनका एक अच्छा भविष्य तय कर सकते हैं? चाहे वो हमारी बेटियों को बड़ा बड़ा सपना देखने का एक फैसला हो या फिर बच्चों को पैसे की समझ देने का फैसला हो, हर कदम हमारा इस विषय में मायने रखता है। असल बदलाव रोजमर्रा के छोटे छोटे फैसलों से शुरू होते हैं, चाहे वो जेंडर इक्वालिटी की बात करें या हम फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस की बात करें। वो सही तरीके से जीवन के मायने सीखेंगे। जब परिवार में बेटियों को बड़े सपने देखने के लिए प्रोत्साहित किया जाता है, उत्साहित किया जाता है, एक्साइट किया जाता है और बच्चों को शुरू से ही पैसे की समझ दी जाती है उसके साथ में, तो वो निश्चित रूप से आत्मनिर्भर और कॉन्फिडेंट, इंडिपेंडेंट एंड कॉन्फिडेंट बनते हैं। और रही बात बच्चों में फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट की, तो उसके लिए मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि अगर हम शुरू से ही, बचपन से ही बच्चों को मनी को एक टूल के रूप में दिखाएं, जिसको या उनकी एक समझ डेवलप करें जहां पर उन्हें पता चले कि मनी इज समथिंग नॉट टू बी अफ्रेड ऑफ, कि मेरे पास बहुत सारा पैसा आ गया तो मैं क्या करूंगा। इनफैक्ट उनके अंदर ये भावना लाएं कि मनी इज योर फ्रेंड एंड यू कैन डू थिंग्स विद इट। और जैसे कि आजकल पॉकेट मनी का बहुत ज्यादा चलन है, उसको सही तरीके से खर्च करना, बजट करना और सेव करना, ये तीनों चीजें ही अगर हम बच्चों को बचपन से ही सिखाएं तो निश्चित रूप से वो एक समझदारी डेवलप करेंगे टुवर्ड्स बजट एंड फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट। हाल ही में मैंने एक मूवी देखी और शायद आप सभी ने भी देखी होगी, मिसेस, जिसमें एक लड़की को अपने घर के कामों की वजह से अपने सपनों के लिए बहुत जूझना पड़ा। तो हमें ये बात समझनी पड़ेगी कि इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट जेंडर इक्वालिटी, इट मीन्स कि हमें उन्हें सभी अवसर उसी समान रूप से देने हैं जिस रूप से हम मेल्स के लिए ये अवसर प्रदान करते हैं। ये सोसाइटी को एक मेंटल डेवलपमेंट लानी पड़ेगी अपनी सोच में। मैं लास्ट में सिर्फ इतना ही बोलना चाहूंगी कि वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट इज वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज हम आधी आबादी बनाते हैं, तो हमारे एफर्ट्स भी मायने रखने चाहिए। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर लिसनिंग मी। मेरा नाम पायल मित्तल है और मैं कम्युनिकेशन एंड सॉफ्ट स्किल एक्सपर्ट हूँ। मेरी बात सुनने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एंड टुगेदर आई बिलीव वी कैन क्रिएट अ बिग चेंज इन द वर्ल्ड। अगर हम चीज़ों को बेहतर तरीके से समझेंगे और एक दूसरे को साथ में लेकर चलेंगे, तो हम एक निश्चित रूप से बेहतर समाज की नींव रख सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।
Education is a powerful tool to promote gender equality. It can break down stereotypes and empower people. Schools and colleges are the fair, inclusive places for all students. It promotes all genders working together. A relationship between men and women, whether in the family or workplace or any other public sphere, reflects the understanding of talents, characteristics, behavior, and appropriate to women and to men. Sharing household chores and childcare equally are the two ways to promote gender equality. Education can reduce inequality by providing individuals with the knowledge of understanding they need to participate in the democratic process. The financial independence is a state where an individual or household has accumulated sufficient financial revenues to cover its living expenses without having to depend on active employment to earn money and to maintain everything in life. The basic thing that moved it forward, the ultimate goal of financial independence are get your own bank account to create your own budget to the same money by investment options and invest wisely. Building your credits, build an emergency fund, and the benefits we get are work life will get balanced, and also we'll get freedom of choice, reduce stress and anxiety, and also the great opportunity for personal growth. It will allow to live a healthy, good life without worrying about money. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. We sincerely wish you could take something from our conversation today and be able to apply it to your life in a positive way. We value your feedback. This can help us improve our future episodes. So share your thoughts to serve you better. If you want us to focus on a topic which you think is of importance, let us know. We will share our expertise in future episodes. So, see you soon with a new topic and help you in your career journey.